been talking winter and fall, and here's another element that relates to actually spring, a year and a half from now. The Chicago mayor's race is 18 months away, but potential candidates are talking to donors and weighing whether or not they want to run. And one of those in the maybe column is Congressman Mike Quigley.
So he's crisscrossing the city right now, talking to various groups, and today he sat down for a one-on-one interview with our political reporter, Marianne Ahern. And Marianne, if we're a year and a half away from this race and we're talking about maybes, does that mean we're going to have a long list of candidates when the time actually comes?
You can count on it, Alex. It will likely be a crowded field for the February 2027 Chicago mayor's race. First, Congressman Quigley is running for re-election to Congress. That vote is November 2026. Then the mayor's election, it's just 3 months later.
We're not at a crossroads. The crossroads was 12 years ago.
He's the congressman from Chicago's North Side. Mike Quigley is also leaning in on potentially running to be Chicago's next mayor. Where does he stand on the current CPS budget crisis? Does Quigley support Mayor Johnson's proposal for taking out a $200 million loan?
It's a horrible idea. I don't know how CPS avoids bankruptcy.
Also hurting financially, the CTA, and finding the funds for the Red Line extension.
Should it cost $1 billion a mile for that extension? How much of that is our fault?
Known as a policy wonk who made a name for himself as a Cook County commissioner, he pushed for budget transparency. Today, as he and other Democrats nationally watch the New York City mayor's race as a test for the party's direction, would Quigley support the frontrunner, Zohran Mamdani?
He helps change the paradigm of how we communicate. You don't need as much money to get attention.
You didn't answer, though. Yes or no on Mamdani? Voting for him? Supporting him?
Look, I support, here's all I support. His notion that the biggest issue right now in New York, Chicago, and everywhere is that things cost too much and that we need to try. I am not a socialist. I wouldn't support him.
Mayor Brandon Johnson's recent polling puts him at a 26% favorable rating. Besides Quigley, others perhaps interested in running include Alexi Janulius, Susanna Mendoza, businessman Willie Wilson, as well as Alderman Bill Conway, Brian Hopkins, and Brendan Riley.
They're going to have the courage to say, I care so much about the city, I don't worry about the next election.
One other big factor, it takes big money to run for mayor. The last mayor's race in 2023, candidates spent more than $60 million altogether. And we should note the one who spent the most, Paul Vallis, did not win.